Welcome back, trainers. So we're going to be taking a look at a couple level 3 solo raids, Alakazam and Alolan Raichu, using Ghost and Dark types. I do throw in a Rayquaza there, which is pretty interesting what happens there. Pay attention to the sky as Rayquaza is about to be defeated. The sky turns dark. It looks awesome. Whenever that happens, it's really cool. But it's specifically Rayquaza because it's kind of like the controller of the weather, the sky, and yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the future of the legendary raids. What can we expect next? Because currently we only have Mewtwo going on, right? Pretty cool, very interesting just to have a Mewtwo raid. Who would have thought? Public at that. And now we need to take a look at dates to put the dots together as to when we can expect it. You could simply go straight to the announcement of this and look at when Mewtwo is going to be vanishing on October 23rd and say, oh, well, we'll probably get a new legendary raid around then. Absolutely. So October 23rd, that's when Mewtwo is going to be vanishing. Let's remember that date. Now let's go up here to Beldum. When is that community day starting? October 21st. Okay, it's going to be a real exciting time around then, huh? And then these psychic type Pokemon are going to be going away on the 14th. So when can we expect the Halloween event? Well, I would assume right after this psychic event. Like we said before, psychic Pokemon are kind of aligned with Halloween, you know, and that whole spooky deal. So I'd expect they're going to do a Dark and Ghost event after this one, right? Which would make perfect sense. Now we can only hope that Niantic drops in some Gen 4 Ghosts, but we can only wait and see until they actually do that, right? So October 14th, that's when we probably can expect a new event to start with the Ghost and Dark types. As for the Legendary, they might drop one then as well, because having just one Legendary raid is, you know, is common, but also having two is a thing as well. So Mewtwo is going to be gone around the October 23rd, so yeah, guys, I think we're going to get a new legendary raid. But the thing is, here's the main question. What are we going to get? Well, let's go ahead and talk about that now. Okay, so we've seen Kyogre, correct? Now we have to cover the Pokemon that have not been released as a shiny. Legendary, that is. And that's going to be the legendary beast, Entei, Suicune, and Raikou. I would definitely like a shiny Raikou, but honestly, not yet. Not yet. Let's do the Halloween thing. Let's get Rayquaza and Groudon out shiny first, and then let's talk about the legendary beast as a shiny form later on, possibly in the first quarter of 2019. So that is my theory here. We're probably going to see Rayquaza, Groudon make an appearance as shiny because we did get Kyogre out of the blue, which is great to have. Personally, wish I could have gotten more. I have a decent one, traded my shiny for another shiny, and it received a 15 in attack. I'm pretty sure it's not going to go over 4,000 CP, but hey. Anyways, that's who I think is possibly an option. That's an option. We're going to go for more Gen 4 legendaries just here in a second. And also a tweet that Pokemon Go put out referring to the Ghost event, or possibly what we're going to see next. It kind of wasn't really publicized too much. Didn't see too many people talking about it, so we're going to cover that. So there you have it. Rayquaza or Groudon may make an appearance pretty soon, around the 14th. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens there. Maybe they'll drop some new ghost types. So let's discuss this further. Alright, so up next we have Giratina and possibly Darkrai. Darkrai is going to be a mythical, but what have we seen with Deoxys? It was released into the EX raids and they said it was a mythical. So there is the possibility of seeing Darkrai as a public raid in the future, considering Deoxys is very, very underwhelming, and maybe they knew this already, and now they see what the public is saying, and they're like, oh, okay, well, we need to continue on bringing them nice public raids, otherwise it's just going to be like very boring for them, because what? People are actually going to rush to these EX gyms to get an EX pass for Deoxys. Yes, for a while they're going to, but it's not even close to as good as Mewtwo, and Mewtwo is public. So if you want something nice, you just have to go out there and do those raids. Granted, you already have a Shadow Ball Mewtwo. But anyway, even if you max out Deoxys, as you've seen on this channel, several tests, it performs horribly. All right, and it's due to its low stamina and defense. Simple as that. And people that are saying Niantic messed up Deoxys, they need to buff it, they need to fix it. Guys, what is going on is the stats have already been made by the Pokemon Company. They're already there in the main series games, and what they're doing is converting it from that into CP. They didn't change its stats. They literally kept it the way it is. It's just in Pokemon Go, it's a lot different than the main series, so it's just not as good at all. There's no strategy. It's just tap, tap, tap. If you don't have the defense or stamina plus attack, that thing is just going to be useless. And that's what we're seeing here. So my predictions are for the Halloween event, some Gen 4 drops possibly, and Giratina and Darkrai as a public raid. Because what have we seen with the last generation when it was released? Immediately we got the legendaries Groudon and then Kyogre right after that, followed up by Rayquaza. And as far as other Gen 4 Pokemon outside of Dark and Ghost types, I don't think they're going to be dropping them this month, possibly in November. We're going to see a lot happening, folks, around November to December. We're going to get PvP. We're going to get Gen 4, some of it at least, and maybe a couple new features introduced into the game besides PvP, because, wow, it's going to be a big one. So if you're, hoping to see other Gen 4 Pokemon released around Halloween, other than the Dark and Ghost, don't hold your breath. Probably not going to happen. You may see Dusknull, Mismagius, and a few others. We'll take a look here. Darkrai. That Darkrai is a far-fetched thing. Of course, everybody wants that. Do I see it coming as a mythical breakthrough? No, not at all. Not Darkrai. We're probably going to be battling this in a gym for sure as a raid boss. Legendary raid at that. Is it going to be tough? It's going to have a lot of attack for sure, but we have plenty of counters. So the things that you're going to be seeing are going to be like Honchkrow, Mismagius, Gengar, Weavile. Well, you're not going to probably see Weavile. Maybe you're going to be able to evolve it. And then you have Frostlass, which is going to be evolving from Snorunt, female version only. So make sure you hold on to some of those. The return of the Alolan Marowak as a raid, Gengar as a raid. I'm going to go over Honchkrow really quick, because if you do not have any Markrows currently, or good ones, I highly recommend that you go out there and try to find some, or at least trade for a lucky or two, because this thing is massively strong. So we're over here on the Go Hub. Let's take a look at the stats. Dark and Flying type, right? Max CP of 2,566. Attack, 243. Okay, that's pretty good. Defense, 103. That's, it's getting there down on the low end. Stamina, 200, which makes up for it. It's going to have plenty of health to stay in the fight. In the main series games, this is somewhat of a tanky Pokemon, a staller. In Pokemon Go, it should be performing quite well with an attack of 243. Hopefully, it receives a good moveset to almost rival Tyranitar. So let's go ahead and look at its weaknesses. Weak to Electric, Fairy, Ice, and Rock. Resisting Ground, Psychic, Dark, Ghost, and Grass types. So Honchkrow, they're not going to have any moves because, well, it's just not there yet. But that's another Pokemon to keep your eyes out for. Let's go ahead and look at Mismagius here and see what we have going on. Pure Ghost type. This isn't something you're going to, power up and say, yes, now I have the ultimate power. It's just going to be a nice little collector. We have a max CP at 2,465, attack 211, defense 211, and stamina 112. So, I mean, it's not horrible for sure, but there's going to be other ghost type options that you're going to want to go for. But all around, it should be somewhat of a decent gym defender, as I can see here with that 211 defense and stamina at 120. It's not so horrible. It is a ghost type, so it's going to be basic here, resisting fighting, normal, bug, and poison, weak to dark and ghost. Okay, so look forward to that one. That should be pretty fun as well. So this might be very random, but Stunky, it is a Gen 4 poison and dark type. I'm talking about it because it is dark, and it has the possibility of being dropped around Halloween time just to get you hyped for more Gen 4 Pokemon. You know how they like to drop those lesser important Pokemon. It's going to be evolving to Skuntank, which we will take a look at here. Let's just go ahead and skip to its evolution because that's what's important. There you go. Skuntank. Pretty funny. Poison and dark type. This is not going to be anything too significant here. Never really was a big fan of this guy. Max CP 2,262. Attack 184. Defense 135. And stamina 206. So let's see what it's weak against. Ground. And that is it. Resisting dark, Ghost, Grass, Poison, and Psychic. So it's not a bad typing there. But as far as usability and how much you're going to want to power these up, not too much at all. They might be fun to use here and there. If you catch a high CP one, you evolve it. Don't invest Stardust and just use it like that. Next up is good old Spiritomb. This has high possibility of coming in. I mean, I see this being used as some sort of event, building a lot of hype around the name Spiritomb for people, not just a simple drop, bam, like that. So we'll see. Hopefully, I really would like this to make an appearance this Halloween. Ghost and Dark type. As you can see, the max CP doesn't get very high at all. 1,802 attack, 169 defense, 199 and stamina 100. Now in the main series games, this Pokemon had no weakness for a while. Now it's weak to Fairy, and it can usually survive just one hit always. Like, you can't never one shot it. Usually you're gonna have to take it out with 2 hits. Let's go ahead and look at this. Weak to just Fairy, resisting normal, Psychic, Fighting, and Poison type. So Spiritomb, very cool looking Pokemon, would look awesome as your buddy for sure. As far as usability, not so much. Would be even more amazing if they dropped it with the shiny right away. That would make me happy. But we'll see. I'm pretty sure they're going to have some sort of event evolving around this thing, kind of like Spinda and Kecleon, which they have yet to release, which is very odd. But just take a look at this Pokemon. Quite amazing design. Very cool story as well behind this. And before I let you go, I said there was a tweet in the beginning from the Pokemon Go Twitter that said something about spooky things are happening. And for some reason, I can't seem to find it anywhere. I was on their Twitter, refreshed it plenty of times, couldn't see anything. So, oh well. But nonetheless, I'll kind of give you a rundown. It was saying something about Professor Willow is finding some spooky things, you know, Halloween wording. Anyways, it was there. They mentioned it. I don't know why they took it away. But nonetheless, expect it very soon, trainers. And remember, I'll be keeping you up to date on everything you need to know. Make sure you like this video if it helped you out and you enjoyed it. Notifications on so you don't miss anything. And I'll be catching you all next time. Take care, trainers.